Hello. Are we recording? Unbelievable. Is my mic okay? Dave, you're making me nervous.
Why?
I don't know. I feel like you and I haven't chatted in a while.
I
We have a
know it's
lot to catch up on. Have you ridden a dirt bike?
You're gonna hate me so bad for
Oh, you sold all your dirt bikes. You quit.
this. Yeah, I quit. I'm into rollerblading now, dude. Rollerblading and
Cool.
hula hooping are my things, and
Wow.
yeah, really easy to go pro with those. So I got a bunch of sponsors and endorsements, and yeah, it's crazy. I'm now the face of the Republican Party, so we're killing it. We're killing it right now.
Dave, episode 161, by the way. Shout out everybody listening, watching, however the heck you download our podcast. Thank you. It's growing. We're still growing. We're on the up and up. I did a hula hoop with Millie the other day.
Oh, really?
Didn't go well.
Oh,
Completely
no.
embarrassed myself. I thought, now this is my theory. It was a small circumference of a hula hoop.
Okay.
So theoretically, would that make it more difficult? Because I couldn't even get it to go around my hips once
Yeah,
before it would drop.
I think this is a smaller hula hoop in general makes it difficult. But dude, you're pretty much Caribbean by assimilation now. Just
Yeah.
in proximity to Tony for so long, you should be able to move those hips, buddy.
I'm a little tight with the hips, Dave.
We should, after dude, it's been 20 something years, buddy. You should be smooth with the hip motion right now.
Well, are you going to have any hula hoop courses inside the Moto Academy app?
We plan to. I got a few
Okay.
things coming up with the new the new skill, so we should have them.
Okay. Yeah, I need it. Just a bit tight with the hips.
Yep.
A bit tight
Yep.
with the hips. Speaking of the hips, we just recorded a video that I think it might have went on YouTube already. Ethan, is this true? The one with me and the TMA gear?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and the comments are like eating up the gear, by the way.
Yes.
Like everybody is loving it.
Okay.
Which is
Okay.
cool because we haven't really, this is exactly how I want this to go, actually, which is like, I don't want to throw it in people's face at the moment because we don't even have our plan finalized for what it's going to be. But I want to tease it. And as Dave, are you familiar with Alex Hermosi? Really
Give
high
me some
level
more
business
detail.
guy, super jacked. He wears like wife beaters in most of his videos. He's got a big
Yes.
beard,
Big
long
beard,
hair.
soup. Yes. Yep. Big
But
YouTube following.
Yes, and super smart business guy.
Yes.
So he wrote 3 books, and I've been obsessed with them for the last week and a half, just like reading and rereading them and telling the whole team to read them. And he talks about the whisper, tease, shout method, maybe is what he calls it, right?
Yeah.
So like when you're approaching a launch, like you whisper about it he's like the years leading up to it. Every so often, just whisper about it, kind of like mention it a little bit, which kind of like what I do and have been doing with many things. That's just kind of how I've done it. But that's how this gear has kind of happened because people saw me testing it, but I didn't really talk about it. Now I'm in what is 90% of the completed kit.
Yeah.
And still haven't really talked about it yet. And it looks good. And yeah, people are commenting and asking about the gear. I saw a lot of comments in the app about it. Saw it on short form. I haven't looked at the YouTube video yet. But anyhow, what the heck was I going to talk about? Oh, I've started talking about the hips. I'm using a different term now, and it's a workout term. I've come to realize. I say chopping your hips
I don't
back.
know what happened, but I cannot hear.
Have
AJ
you ever
at
heard
all.
anybody describe it as that, Dave?
There we go. You just kicked back
Can you
in
hear
for
me
me.
now?
There we go. Perfect. Yeah. Just say the last part again.
Okay. Sorry. My phone was ringing in my ear, so that's what did
Oh,
it.
okay.
Have you heard of the term of chopping your hips back?
No.
Okay. So in this video, that's how I describe it. And I'm pretty sure that, a personal trainer at the gym, that's how they would describe to you how to do a squat movement or a deadlift movement or an RDL, where chopping your hips back to be able to keep those knees stacked on top of the feet and really, get the hips into that anterior tilt to do the hinge the right way.
Yep.
Because when I was told that it was incorrect to, describe the hips as locked or unlocked.
Yep.
I cut that out and I stopped saying that. I told all of our instructors to stop saying it, but I was struggling to find a replacement of what do I say instead. In fact, like at one point Hunter Lawrence provided the idea of toot that thing up, and toot that thing up became a temporary replacement for hips
So
locked.
just so wild and such a TMA thing to be like, hey, bunch of you kids, toot that thing up for us. Like, no,
temporary
wait, no.
replacement, and it worked well for the time. And but
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, we can't just be tooting that thing up and telling kids to toot that thing up. So
Dude, Ethan's face.
what do we call it? And then
Yeah.
I would use the metaphor or analogy, I don't know what the difference between the two, of like, pretend you're a dog and you're a scared dog with your tail tucked in between your legs, and that's your back, you get that hunchback, versus somebody grabbed your tail and you yanked your tail out from behind you.
Yeah.
That's the anterior tilt that you want. So I was using that for a while, but
good
I feel
visual,
like that was
especially for kids. Good visual for kids. Yep.
Help. That's good. But it felt wordy, and it felt a bit maybe, it was wordy and a little non-professional, like a little childish. But I guess that can be helpful.
Yeah.
So now I've just been saying, pointer finger basically on your hips, or you just karate chop. You just chop your hips back. And this was the first time in a video, I think, that I said it. So
okay.
Yeah, let me know, guys, what you think. I know everybody will digest information differently, and when I say something, it will create a different visual in your head. I think to be a good teacher, you want to create an effective visual, so somebody's like, got it. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, people are liking the gear, so that's the good news.
Which is
But Dave,
cool,
you sold all your dirt bikes and you have hula hoops now? Oh, hang on one second. Whoopsie daisy. We got a plumber upstairs doing our. So Dave, you knew that Millie had lead poisoning from our old faucet.
You guys told me about that. Which, by the way, a couple things that I have a bone to pick with you. You did not tell me, number one, how sick I was going to be having a kid. You were just so stoked that you finally have a niece, and I was excited for you too. And buddy, this little girl, I currently, as we sit here now, I have the biggest migraine because I have a sinus infection, I have an ear infection, and I have a cold. I have never been sick this consistently in my life. I've been sick for the past 5 out of 6 weeks, dude. Between
is she in daycare or school or something?
Yeah,
or
she goes to like a private Montessori, and which is great, dude, because she's learning at an exponential rate. Dude, this girl is 1 year old and she's doing things, and I was like, I don't know how you learn this. However, dude, she is always sick, and but it doesn't affect her. She gets like a runny nose. I can tell she's sick, but runny nose, little colicky, and
pushes
she's
through
good.
it fine. Yeah,
dude, I have been on my couch
and you just
feeling
catch
like
the
death.
wrath of it.
Dude, it's awful. It's all
yeah.
I last week I'm like, this is the end. This is it. All right, well, I've lived the good one. You know what I mean? Dude, I had to get a shot in my butt last night, like a legit heavy duty steroid, to combat this ear infection and sinus infection that I have at the same time.
Wow. No, we've been, I was just knocking on wood. We've been very lucky. We've had gnarly neurovirus twice. All as a family unit. We got it together twice. But that seemed like a fluke. That was a bit of a fluke thing. We have not been sick, period, at all otherwise. And I was going to say, Millie doesn't go to a daycare or anything, but she goes to my gym. So she's in an environment that's like kids are all there all day long, touching everything. So
yeah,
she's still in that type of environment. No, we've been very lucky. Like, you know how usually you look around and like every kid just has a runny nose half the time, and you're like, okay, well, that's just Millie never has that. Very, very, very rarely. So I don't know. I think we're just getting lucky so far. But
dude,
I feel for you, because that sucks.
It's
not feeling
awful.
100%.
And we do everything, dude. She does not touch a single ounce of anything processed. She's still breastfed. Like, dude, we get fresh air and walks. We live right near a body of water. Like, I could not offer this kid any more in terms of a positive, healthy environment, no plastics, all that other stuff. And she just repays me by at you right into your eyeballs. And I hope you never heal from this, old man. And it sucks. So that's been miserable, buddy. So quit the last job. starting the new job. I fly out to Sunday for the new job. And I'm like, all right, I'll give myself a couple weeks to enjoy myself, go riding, relax. Haven't even touched my dirt bike because I've just been spewing my brains out every night, dude. Haven't even enjoyed a second of, miserable.
Shout out. Yeah, that does. Bad time. I mean, that's a bummer. So this Sunday, you, wait, can you disclose?
Yeah, I haven't,
Okay.
we haven't talked about it, have we?
No, we haven't.
Yeah, so I don't know how much we got into like what I do for 9 to 5, but yeah, so my thing is I design motorcycles. So my last job was outside the industry. AJ heard me complain nonstop about like, oh, dude, I want to get back into moto. I miss it, you know. And we do like, you know, obviously we have the collective, part of the TMA stuff here and there, which is great. But you know, I miss being in it. So funny enough, Cobra hit me up and they're like, hey, like, got your resume. We want to have a conversation. And dude, it was a super fun, and it was even like an interview. We just bench raced the whole time. And turns out that a lot of their leadership, the two guys that own it, Phil and Sean, they're just passionate about moto. Obviously, I mean, they run Cobra, right? So we just talked moto, all of the background. We know a lot of the same people.
And did you let them know that your boy was the Cobra killer on the Polini back in the day?
So we were out to dinner. So I flew out to meet the team and see if it'd be a good fit. We went to dinner that night in Chelsea, Michigan, and they were like, oh, so like we Googled you, and they're like, dude, you're in everything. And I was like, oh, cool. Yeah, don't go too far because there's some things that I want to be in. But it was like, they're like, yeah, we love the podcast. They're like, oh, you're with AJ Cat? I'm like, yeah. He goes, yeah. He was a pain in the ass. It's like, really? He's like, yeah, dude. Little Polini gold rims would always like, would always like go by and like kick ass. So people don't realize AJ used to be the man in the 50 class. So I don't think I mean, we talk 60s, 80s time, right? But 50s. World Minis, AJ was a problem.
Yeah, peaked on the 50s. I remember I got protested by Cobra once upon a time.
Really? What happened there?
It was at Ponca City. It was either by Cobra or by Justin Starling, or it was like it was both Cobra and Justin Starling. And I won everything that week. I actually think I won all of my 65 classes that week too. And really? Protested me, and it turned out I had like a restrictor plate in there that shouldn't have even been in there. Like it was
wow. So you were down on power.
Yeah.
Jeez. Did Polini have a 65 back then?
No.
Okay, so
I was on a Polini 50 and a Team Green Cowie 65. Okay. And might have even been on an 85 that week too. I was the crazy person that was on a 50, 60, and 85 all at the same time.
Wow. So crazy. Isn't it crazy to see how things have changed? Where like back when we were kids, Team Green was it. There was like, if you weren't on Team Green, you weren't going to be anybody pretty much. So like the people that weren't Team Green riders, like a Zach Osborne, Justin Barsha, a lot of these KTM kids, stuff like it was, or you know, like 85s, you started seeing like the Izzies, the Davies and stuff like that. But if you weren't Team Green, it was, you wanted to be there.
It was for 65 and 85s. Well, and actually even all the way through big bikes, because
they ran the classes. Yeah.
The Extreme Team Green, and before that, whatever it was called, the Canada Cowie.
Yep,
it was
Canada
always
Cowie. They had their feeder stair steps to the top level.
So I guess Green was the powerhouse
for sure for a long,
and the support
long time.
Was crazy. The
so
support
good.
Was crazy. Like on 65s and 85s, we were getting, I think it was like 5 bikes a year and it's not like how it is now, where sometimes people get, and everybody's situation is quite different now, but usually you'll get bikes now and then you give them back. Yeah. Right.
Yep.
That was just, nope, you get the bikes and you can sell them and keep them. So I was getting 5 to 7 bikes or whatever it was a year, and we could just keep them, which was a huge part of how we were able to afford to keep going.
No, for sure. It makes a difference. And like seeing how prolific and how much support and like how big that program was, to see where it is now. Cause I was talking to Mary about this and it became very apparent. We flew out to Chicago with the baby for the first time, did amazing on the flight, dude. She played and slept, did amazing. Loves the plane. So we visited, because Mary's family lives in Chicago, like literally like where they filmed Home Alone. So we flew out there, hung out with the Rich Whites, and then we drove.
Definitely full white, but that's okay.
Definitely full white, but it shouldn't matter. But so we hung out with the rich whites, and then we drove to Michigan. Ethan's cracking up. We drove to Michigan to meet the Cobra crew, and the cool part about Cobra is that they really are a family, dude. So if for people that are interested in buying Cobras, I haven't started working there yet, so I'm not trying to like super plug. But when I say that your bike is made and built in America, 99% of that bike is made, dude. They make things that they don't have to make, and it's incredible. Sprockets, bars, their wheels, their like, dude, they're making like their own forks even. Like, you are getting a really highly designed bike. So I wanted to show Mary the process and like the factory, and it's super cool, a lot smaller than you think it would be, and just how great the people are. They really are a family. So we were driving out, and Mary's like, "So, like, how popular are Cobras? Because I never hear you guys talk about Cobras. I hear Kawasaki and Yamaha and the other ones." And I'm like, "Oh, they're pretty competitive. You'll see a lot of kids on there." And she's like, "Well, at what level?" And I was like, "Well, certainly at the amateur national level." And I was like, "Here, look at it." And I pulled up the results from Loretta's. And as I did that, I'm like, "Oh my God, they run every class." It's not like, I thought it was like a healthy 50-50 mix. Dude, there were 3 kids that rode non-Cobras, and they were like
Buried
30th,
in the pack. Yeah.
40th, and like 22nd. You know what I mean? And I'm like, holy, and everybody else is on Cobras. So she was like, "Holy crap, that's pretty big market share." And even I was like, wow, I didn't realize, because when you're at the races, you're just kind of doing your own thing. I didn't realize how much of the classes that Cobra runs. They really are the pinnacle of those classes.
Yeah, I'd be so curious to see their numbers on like sales, and because I mean, from the outside in, it definitely seems like their market is the fast amateur national 50 kid.
Oh, for sure.
You would think is a pretty small market, but maybe not. I mean, these Alex Hormozi books would teach you,
Mhm.
double down on your niche. Like, don't try to sell to a broad audience and think that your niche is too specific. Like, your niche is where you make your money, because it's what sets you apart from everybody else.
1000, and that's what they do. And I mean, even when I went to the TMA Supercross, fair amount of kids on Cobras. I mean, I think it was a more even mix in the local scene, but dude, Matt and Jenna Valenti, they're kids on Cobras. You got the who else? A bunch of the 50s, bunch of the 65 classes. They're all on. Yeah, they're all on Cobras. Talking to Mary about that stuff, it really became apparent. I'm like, man, what a difference 10, 15 years makes. Because I could never imagine that you wouldn't see a bunch of KX65s in the mix. And now it's like you don't even see the Austrians. Now you see just strictly Cobra. So it's pretty cool to see the mix. But sorry, going back to it. So gonna be working for Cobra. They needed somebody to come run one of their new programs, so I'll be out there running the new program. I'm excited for it. It should be really fun. I fly out Sunday, and I'll be kind of hopping back and forth and stuff. So it's
Is
cool
that
to
the
be
plan? Flying back and forth, kind of.
for a bit.
What?
For a bit. I'm excited, man. It's good to be back in Moto. Those people are Moto, and they are a family. So I'm excited to see like what that looks like. And hopefully come out with some cool stuff, and hopefully you see my face, ripping a little Cobra around, making that thing.
Are you gonna be testing it and everything? So just, I can't wait for that video.
Yeah, just breaking frames, popping out spokes. I'm excited for that one. Just 6 gear wide open, going nowhere. Crawling through the pits.
But props to you, because you didn't really complain about your situation for that long before you made a change. I think that they're like, for those listening, Dave would kind of vent a little bit about the job that he had before, and that he was grateful that, of course, he had a good job by all means, but just wasn't where his passion was. And you would talk to me about that, but it was really only, I'd say, 6 months or less. It was really an urgent venting issue that you were talking to me about, and then boom, you made the change. So that's huge, because some people will kind of live in that for indefinitely.
Yeah, and I get it. I get when, if you haven't made a switch, or you haven't chased your passion, or know what that pathway looks like, it's tough. You get stuck, dude. And AJ, you talked about it too, being that path of like a privateer, and how can I make it better, dude? I don't want to be a broke privateer. What do I do? And until you have that path, it's hard to visualize it. It's hard to put the effort towards it. And thankfully, every job I've had up to that point has been something that I'm passionate about. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
it wasn't I wasn't afraid, you know what I mean? I wasn't afraid to like go venture and see like, where can this my passion take me next? And I wasn't afraid that I wasn't going to find something. So that was really beneficial. But yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm really excited to like, rep the Cobra brand, and it's early stage moto and the grassroots of moto. That's where my heart is, you know what I mean? Like that's something that's very special to me. It's important to you and the TMA staff. That's where we do a lot of our best work. So I'm excited.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, that'll
That
be
is
good.
exciting and good
Yep,
timing too. Like coming into the new year, it's gonna be 26 gonna be fun.
it is.
2026 gonna be a fun year. We've
I
got
can't
some
wait. I'm gonna
crazy cool stuff.
burn up some flyer miles between just flying home to see you guys. And dude, TMA's doing some big things. So your boy's gonna be there. I'm gonna be at these events.
Yeah, we got the camps are just absolutely in full force. I know Al
Yes.
this week is working on uh booking a Colorado 5-day camp, which will be huge because that's a kind of a big region that we were getting Salt Lake with the camp, but Colorado is a huge audience for us, big demographic
Nice.
for us, and we were kind of missing them for the camp. So we're gonna get one locked in there.
Perfect.
And then I think we were trying to get one finalized and locked in PA
Okay.
as well, which will be huge. So that will make it like 18 or 19 of these 5-day camps in 2026. And
Wow.
with that, we haven't announced it yet, but talking of the whisper tease
Mhm.
shout strategy, we're in the teasing phase currently of the seasons pass that we're going to offer in 2026, which we are doing a seasons pass this year in 25, but it's for
Mhm.
classes only. It's a single person pass only. So we definitely have a bunch of people that leveraged and took advantage of that pass, which is great. But it was a little
Wow.
limiting. I think what we
Mhm.
find is that the when these camps started to become a thing, the first question right away was, "Can my seasons pass get me to a camp?" Right?
Mm.
And then I think of the most of the people that want a season's pass are
Mhm.
families that have a father and a son, or
Mhm.
three of them riding. Or I've been so surprised to see this, but there are many families reaching out that have four, um,
God
husband,
bless
wife, two
them.
kids.
God bless those people. Oh my
Wild,
gosh.
yeah. So seasons pass, like a family. What we're going to do is it will be a family and friends all access pass. So it would be for family friends that you have to just name who the four people are
Mhm.
when you're purchasing the pass, and
Mhm.
they get access to every camp and every tour date for the whole season.
Oh my
We're putting
gosh.
together that offer now. The price point is ridiculously good for what it is,
Mhm.
and yeah, so that I think we're going to offer that starting in like Black Friday time. Um,
Perfect.
so
Perfect.
right before the
Perfect.
holidays, which would be
Yep.
really cool. Yep.
That's epic. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's super smart. And again, bless those people that have all those racers, because dude, it's just me. And I buy sporadic little like Strider and little helmets and stuff for Mave. And I'm like, oh geez. So for the people that have the four plus, God bless you. But one thing that I always commend you and Ethan and the team for is that when you guys are pricing, you guys take the same approach that I do with the collective. Is you guys like pack it with so much value that it almost seems too good to be true. You know what
Hmm.
I mean? And that's one thing that I always commend you guys for is just the planning and the time you take to not only look at it as like, because you have to run a business, obviously. You have employees that have to feed themselves and their families, obviously. But you guys being fans of the sport, being people who are involved in the sport, which where I think passion really matters, and what you do, you guys know how to look at it from the buyer's perspective as well, and what would make sense for them, what would really knock their socks off, what matters to them. So that's what's really cool about, I feel like, every class, every camp, every one-on-one session, even in the merch, the hoodies and stuff like that. You guys do a phenomenal job at looking at it from the buyer's perspective and just drowning them in value. So
Yeah. Well, I mean,
props.
we grew up with our parents not having that much money to be able to get us the things that
Yeah,
we
really
needed,
wanted
right?
to.
So, and my dad
Yeah,
still still made it happen, but
yeah.
he, yeah. So I would always look at it from that perspective of I want to
Mhm.
make sure I'm now not outpricing that person who was me.
Yeah.
But then the more I did it, the more I also realized this is also a good business strategy, in that if you make the offer so good that a person feels silly saying no because there's just so much value
Yeah.
in what you're offering,
Mhm.
then it's a no-brainer. Yeah, and
Oh,
that's
for sure.
basically that's our goal with every single thing that we offer, and we're getting better and better at it.
Oh,
So yeah,
100%.
shout out to the TMA team because we are
Yeah,
definitely getting better at it. Ethan,
it's
what are we
super
going to talk
sick.
about this episode now that we're 30 minutes in?
So we've got some actually pretty good podcast questions from our community inside of the app, along with a
Sweet.
couple questions, some video responses, which we haven't done in a while. So I'd say we could dive in one of the video responses now, answer some of the text questions, and then get to our second podcast question. So I
All
will
right,
change
hit
the
us with it.
screen.
I'm
You guys can
stoked.
see this, right?
Yes,
See
sir.
Christian's
Ooh,
face.
Christian. Yep.
So shout out to Christian. I
Shout
will play
out.
the video because that's what the question
These are
is.
people in the app, by the way.
Hey guys, this is for the podcast question. Doing some ironing, and I was looking at the post of Torque the Turtle about corner speed, and it triggered me. So it's not really a question; it's more that I would like to your reaction on. So this year I started driving the Stark, and I posted it already somewhere as well. That with the Stark it's way easier to take the inside corner, so I could practice that a lot.
Cool.
However, at some point in time I switched back just to drive the Ventec one more time, had to see how that was, and I think because the day had rain in the plan, so it's way easier with a non-electric bike, I would say. And the first few rounds is terrible. You have to start shifting again and you're not used to that anymore. Also the clutch, but okay, that in itself is not really a thing. But I noticed when driving the Ventec a few times, all of a sudden if you make corners, you have to be in the right gear, etc. And since the Ventec has a little bit less horsepower, I would say, you're more aware of making the corner with a higher speed. And I felt that when driving the Stark compared to the Ventec, that with the Ventec I would have higher corner speed. Could be a feeling because you have all the sounds, etc. Let me think what you think about that, and if you have the same experience, yes or no.
Interesting.
Back to the iron.
Back to the iron. Not surprised that Christian just irons his clothes just every single day. Christian's just ironing.
Yeah. Shout out to Christian and the people that really that post a lot and like give really good explanations like this.
Yeah.
Because again, and we're gonna
deep
make broken
thought into
records.
things.
Deep thought, yes. Especially some of the younger kids too are crushing it with that. But man, it makes the community so great to have that engagement, that thoughtfulness, and the fact that they continuously post. If people are not in the app, man, what a disservice you're doing to yourself. This is it's such a good time, dude. The inside jokes alone worth its weight in gold.
I've been getting more kind of transparency lately in the DMs of people saying, hey, I've loved the videos for a long time. I've even done a few classes. I've just now gotten the app. And the reason it took me so long is because I just thought that it would be silly and there wouldn't be any real value in getting inside of an iPhone app for dirt bikes, right? But they would like apologize. One of the messages apologized and said, I'm so sorry. It took me this long to get in here because the value that you guys provide is insane. And a lot of the value provided is from our A players inside of the community. I mean, we have countless people that are responding to coaching wanted footage that are using the hashtags not a coach or not a coach yet, that are providing really valuable, consistent, accurate feedback.
That's the point, is that everybody is spot on, dude.
Yeah,
it's really hard to get bad feedback in the app unless you ask Ethan something. Then he's gonna give me the wrong answer because I know he loves me and likes to make fun of me. But everybody else,
it's not like a public forum where you have to be worried about getting judged. First of all,
oh, for sure.
You know, you hear from absolutely everybody pitching in their opinion.
Yeah,
just like most of which are just inaccurate.
Yeah.
You ask a question in the app and you get so many people jumping in to help in an accurate way, which is crazy valuable. So so thank you to the A players in the app. And if you're on the borderline of should I get in there or should I not, I promise that for $9 a month, which is like 30 something cents per day, it is extreme. It is worth its weight really in gold. It really is.
It really, yeah.
That's a good point and a good question, Christian. So yes, I do think that I think switching back and forth between a Stark and a gas bike, whether it's a 2-stroke or 4-stroke, is a really, really nice supplement to your riding skill, because it teaches you to think of things a little bit different. On the Stark, you can go super slow and ride a crazy tight turn that maybe you couldn't have otherwise. There's many things you can do on the Stark that maybe you can't on a gas bike. Less controls, so you can focus more just on technique. But then you have to apply it back onto the gas bike, maybe fumbling with the gears a little bit at first until you get comfortable. But then you realize momentum is a thing. The Stark is like a 4-stroke on steroids in that you don't need momentum. I mean, you can be completely dead stop and that thing will launch out of there like a slingshot. And then you get back on a 2-stroke and you've got to be in the right gear. So for sure, there's definitely something to that. And keep going back and forth. Be patient with the little bit of uncomfortable feeling that you're going to have when you first get onto each bike. I think when you get on the Stark, it's very intuitive and it doesn't feel uncomfortable at all. When you get back onto the gas bike, shifting feels a bit kind of like archaic. It just feels old school and like something that your foot shouldn't be doing. And especially rear brake on the foot pedal really feels outdated and it feels silly. It's like, why is my foot having to move? This doesn't make any sense at all. The handbrake is so intuitive. It's insane. But that's a great point. And I love the deep thinking on stuff like that, because for me as a coach, it's really easy to, this is something I was talking to somebody this week about this. I teach less classes now than I ever have. And I think it's making me a way better coach, because each class that I go to, it's a reset and I teach differently. I string together my sentences and the lesson structure a little bit different. And I don't know if other people notice, but for me, it feels more fresh and it feels like I am a little bit more adaptable and like open to changing the way that I say things and teach things. Where when I would coach and do 130 of these tour dates in a year and just be go, 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 it's really easy to just say the same exact things in one specific way. And I'm just kind of saying the same information exactly the same way over and over and over again. Not that I become closed-minded to thinking that's the only way to do it, but I like when you get asked a question like that just makes you think a little bit more outside the box.
Oh, for sure. And what he's saying, like I hear all the time, especially with buddies that have Starks and they also have, regular internal combustion engine bikes, right? Like I've got a buddy that has a Stark and he also has a really, really nice YZ 250F, and I think pipe, suspension, really, really good bike. And it'd be a dream for most people. And he's like, man, I have such a hard time riding it if I've been on the Stark for more than, a week or two. And he says the same thing. I feel like I have to learn how to balance all over again. I have to figure out, why do I even need this clutch, all over again. So, and the bikes are so different. I mean, a Stark is such a different bike. It does everything so well. And yeah, you can get the tight inside corner, like you were saying, AJ, or you can carry speed in a much more smoother, more controlled way. So like you almost get a chance to see like what the extremes are on both sides, right, of the spectrum. But also it kind of reminds me of like when people would say like, oh yeah, you're riding a 450, trying to figure out how to blah, 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 hop on 125 and like, learn the fundamentals again and how to keep momentum and keep the RPMs up and stuff like that. It almost gives like that sort of feel and how different those two bikes are, like drastically different. But I think what Christian's experiencing is like something that we've all experienced, man, where it's like, I feel like I'm coming through this corner a little faster than I would in like the Stark or something else. However, where I think the Stark, you'll start seeing the advantages or the positives about that is how smoothly you can connect going into the corner, in the corner, and then out of the corner onto the next thing. And you'll start to see, I guarantee, AJ, you've experienced this too, where like you'll go through something and you'll just hit it so much more smoother on the Stark and be like, man, I guarantee you my lap time was like 4 seconds faster just in that one section, Might have to come to a little bit more of a stop, but I know because I linked this together, I was just all day much more smoother, So
if you have the
hard.
means to be able to ride multiple different types of dirt bikes, do it. I would recommend that to anybody because it teaches you so many lessons in learning how
Yes.
to adapt to different things and to learn how to be in a different gear. Some bikes
Mhm.
having to use the clutch a lot. Some bikes you don't barely need the clutch at all. That's one thing that's been really fun about teaching the Moto Academy is that I
Mhm.
have at this point now probably ridden more different bikes than anybody. Like it's crazy every time I
Yeah.
go to class, and a lot of times I'll pick the weird ones just on
Mhm.
purpose to see, okay, how quickly can I feel comfortable on this thing?
Yeah.
I know a lot of riders only ride their bike, and if you give them
Mhm.
something different, if they even bend a
Oh,
lever or something just slightly off with their bike, even just a little bit,
yeah.
it throws absolutely everything off for them. And you don't want to
Mm.
be that type of rider.
Okay, I got 2 questions for you. What was your thing? Because I mean, before Moto Academy, before training and stuff like that, that if your bike did not have this, or if your bike ended up losing this, whatever, you couldn't ride your bike. And what has been your favorite bike to ride to
So
date because of the classes?
for sure, I remember this vividly. When I was little, my dad used to bring me to the track to Rocky Hill. We would ride
Mhm.
3 to 4 days a week, and then I'd race on the
Oh,
weekends. So I was
I
on a
missed
dirt
that
bike
track.
4 to 5 days a week every week,
Mhm. Mhm.
which is a lot. But I would also be riding my BMX bike. Anytime I wasn't on the dirt bike, I was on my BMX bike. So I was probably on my
Mm.
BMX bike more actually than I was on my dirt bike. When I
Mhm.
would get onto my dirt bike, always it would feel, and I was on Cowies, keep in mind, I
Mhm.
always felt like I was kind of sitting into a chopper. Like I was just sagged down and my bars were high. And I'm like, what is
Mm.
this? Every time. Well, it turns out like we never played around with sag, never, I mean,
Mhm.
anything. I didn't even realize that adjusting the sag a little bit could bring the rear end feel up a little bit and get that
Mhm.
bike to not feel like I was riding a chopper so badly. But
Yeah.
every time I would get on my bike, that would be my frustration and my kind of annoyance. And I'd be very uncomfortable. It would take me a few laps to get the feel of the dirt bike again
Mhm.
versus the BMX bike. Um, so I vividly remember that. Big time. And
Wow.
also on the
Hmm.
Cowies, they had rubber mount handlebars. And if
Yes.
you would stuff it into a corner too fast, half the time my rubber mounts were tweaked and I was riding
Yeah.
with what felt like completely bent bars. So I don't know if anybody
Mhm.
can relate to that, but that was super annoying too. Like if I just sometimes even just went too fast through a turn, I'd exit
Mhm.
the turn and my my mounts would be all sideways. I'm like, what the heck?
Jeez. That's funny.
And yeah, Cowie days. Yeah, side plates would fall off all the time.
Mhm.
What else with the Cowie? Seat bolts, you couldn't get the seat bolts in
Good God, if I
no
can't tell
matter
you
what
how
you
many
did.
seat bolt, and it doesn't matter what Cowie you bought,
Yep.
65, 85, 250. I can't tell you how many
Oh my
seat
God,
bolts
just on
I
top of
went
that
through.
thing, trying to get the right amount of pressure on the top of the seat to get the seat
Oh,
bolt
seat
in,
on.
like
Oh,
trying to,
oh.
yeah.
It's such a
If you've
pain,
had
dude.
Cowies in the past, especially in
You
like
know, you
08
know
to
what we're talking about.
2010, I feel like
Yes.
07 to 10,
Yep.
those freaking, the seat bolts just trying to, yeah. And then, oh my God, all of it. So my
Yep.
dad cause he would change the air filter as my dad would 500 times a
Way
day,
too
right? So
much. Yep.
the seat was always off.
Uh-huh.
And there would always be like, then he'd be lubing the chain 100 times. And so by the time the Moto was going out, he'd be in a rush to get that seat on. And oh, I have vivid memories of my dad just causing an absolute scene
Mhm.
trying to get the freaking seat bolt in the right way. And then my seat would still fall off when I was out there on the
Uh,
track.
causing a scene. I love
Yeah.
it. By the way, you don't understand how happy I was to see that name come across in the group chat of Tony Cat. Yeah, dude. I was like, we're here, baby. He made
Momentous
it.
moment in the Moto Academy app happened yesterday, folks. My
Yep, yep.
dad, Tony Catanzaro, made his first comment on the community feed inside of the app. I don't know how the heck he figured it out, but he did it.
Mhm.
And his post was, "What is a hashtag?" And that was it. That was his whole post. It was, what is a hashtag? I
Oh
don't know if
my
anybody answered
gosh.
the question for him, but I was pretty proud. I'm like, just thinking of the fact that he knew to go down and click the little bubble and to do the quick. I mean, I'm very, somebody must have done it for him.
Mm.
There's no way he did that by himself.
I want to just give him a shout out too, because if I'm not mistaken, he had like a 14.5 minute plank for our
Yeah.
challenge. Is that correct?
But then he got
and didn't he just
beat.
he got beat, but he had
Wait.
open heart surgery like not long ago,
Who
right?
beat
Yeah,
Like
he
him?
thinks he's still pretty sure he had a stroke, which I don't know if we've written that off as if he had or didn't have a stroke, but
Oh Lord.
yeah, no, but he's been doing the 14-minute plank still since.
Who beat him?
Tracy, RMZ Tracy.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know.
Dude.
Tracy must have like some type of prosthetic abdomen or something, because I don't know how that's possible. I can't do. So I don't know. And everybody has, certain muscle groups that are more flexible than others or stronger than others. And everybody's has one workout that they're usually really good at. For me, I'd say like pull-ups are kind of my movement.
Oh, not
I
for me.
can't do planks. I can't do mountain climbers even that well, because
Yeah.
my hips get tired so
Quick.
fast. I
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
even really do like leg raises that well,
Mm.
because my hips get tired so quickly. So when
Mhm.
I'm trying to sit there and do a plank, it's not my abs that get tired. My hips are toast after, and I guess that's a weakness I should address. But yeah, no matter how I shift around within my plank, I can't get my hips to not be on fire.
Jeez.
Yeah, but shout out Tracy, beat my dad's 14-minute plank. I thought for sure that was a record that nobody in the Moto Academy app would beat.
Yeah.
But he beat it.
Holy crap.
He beat it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I was so stoked to see Tony in there. And just for background for people, I don't know if we were switched at birth or something, but every time I went to the track, AJ's dad would be like the most encouraging person to me. My dad, seriously, for no reason, because I was doing terrible, and your dad be like, "Oh, D, all you got to do is just blah blah blah. Keep your," and I tell you this all the time. Your dad gave me some of the best advice I've ever heard, where it was, I want you to be thinking 2 or 3 corners ahead and not just what's in front of your front wheel, because it'll set you up for your corners better. You'll be more prepared for the obstacles that come. I remember on 85s, that always stuck with me. And yeah, AJ's dad would be the nicest dude to me. My dad,
And
forget
same
my
your
dad.
dad with me.
Yes, exactly. My dad
Yep.
would just, you could not, to this day, I cannot critique AJ. Like AJ can do no wrong. AJ is the best. AJ makes my dad so proud. And I don't know what it is. If we were switched at birth, which clearly, I don't know, maybe Tony's more Sicilian than I thought, but or what, but, and they're both named Tony, both had vans, both would just beeline towards each other when we got to the races. But yeah, so I always get happy when I see Tony Cat, and of course AJ always gets excited when he sees my annoying father with his bald head. So weird.
Were they indulging in the ganja, I wonder?
So if you ask my dad, he said he never touched the stuff. However, in our culture, it's not taboo. Like it's super normal. It's used as medicine and stuff like that. So I would not put it past my father to have been like, oh well,
because I never
I'm
caught
having
on.
it in a tea, and it never, for me too. It was never, again, because that stuff wasn't taboo. I never thought of it as like ooh, now my parents are gonna, I was like, oh dude, my grandma does that stuff. Like what do I want to, I don't want to do.
I just never
it, you know
knew.
what I mean?
I never knew what it was. And I was so naive and ignorant that I didn't even know what it was. So it wasn't on my radar that my dad might have been doing that at that time, which I don't even know if he was. That just popped into my mind. Maybe that's how they had met in the first place. But
I have no idea.
That's funny. That's funny.
Yeah, maybe they were like, you have a van, I have a van. Start making out.
They did have the 2 creepiest. I'm draining my pool. I have an alarm going. They did have the 2 creepiest vans. Can you hear me?
Yeah, there we go. Yep.
Here, real quick, Ethan, before you do that, check this out. Guys, if you're watching this podcast and you notice, hang on a second, he's drinking a different water bottle. Bet I am. We not using the Element anymore. We're actually going to start doing we're doing the Whisper Teas. We're doing the Whisper Teas thing here. We're in Whisper phase we're creating our own electrolyte. It's going to be a little way down the road, kind of, but not really. I would say maybe 3 months down the road. It'll happen fairly quick. And so we're testing water bottles that we want to kind of use as like our OG water bottles that everybody can have. And Dave, have you used a hydro jug before?
I have. Mary has one.
I was going to say, I knew Mary would have one.
Yeah.
I had never used one, but all of my girl employees swore by them. So I'm like, okay, we got to try it. I love these things. They're quite good. So this is the 20 ouncer. We're going up to the 32 ounce so it can hold a little bit more. Nice. The other Element bottle that I used to use was 18. So I'd find myself refilling that like a million times a day. But yeah, these ones are quite cool. And they have the Moto Academy logo embossed on the front, which is cool. Nice. So these will be sold for Black Friday. online for sure. We're going to have these at classes and camps as well. We've already started to have these at classes, and people are buying them like hotcakes, actually, which is
Nice.
cool. Everybody wants a nice water bottle. So
That they do.
If anybody has any good creative ideas for a potential electrolyte name, drop them in the comments below. Ali and I were talking about it the other day and brainstormed for a few minutes and couldn't think of anything creative. So
yeah, what's funny is
got
that's
good
kind of
names.
like our holdup at the moment. Like I have a really good manufacturer. Like we're going to be testing flavor profiles and ingredients. We're basically going to take the element and level it up in 3 key ways at least, but replace some of their mediocre or subpar ingredients with better stuff. Way
That
better
was my
stuff.
question: was are we sticking with the clean brand? Because I know if Ali's involved, it has to be 100% clean.
Yeah, so like a few things off the top of my head. The flavoring, when Element says natural flavoring, you don't really know what you're getting. Usually natural flavoring is a bad sign.
Litany. Yep.
It's something of some type of artificial, what the heck
Yeah.
is in there. So that's one big thing, is we want to use real sweetener. So like a monk fruit or something that's a real fruit sweetener.
Mhm.
And then the difference between that is like the Element, you can market it as 0. And here's a whole nother thing too. You can market Element, they do market it as 0 grams of sugar,
Mhm.
but yet it has stevia in it. And then it has those natural flavorings, which it's like, it'd be better to have 1, 2, 3 grams of sugar in it,
And have it
but
be
for
a
it to
natural
be
source.
a real source of sweetener,
Yeah.
that would be way better. And then the big thing also is the sodium in Element is, I think, more closely resembled to like a table salt, so not like a really high quality good salt.
Mhm.
So we're gonna have a super good like a Celtic sea salt, like a really high level, good clean salt.
Mhm.
And then there's gonna be a couple other tweaks as well. So it's gonna be significantly even better. I think the Element was a good stepping stone for us, because
Mhm.
that was getting a lot of people out of Prime and Gatorade and Powerade and just
Mhm.
like these real junk ones,
Mhm.
which is good. But we're gonna even go a level up from that. And the good news with electrolytes from a business perspective is it's not expensive to purchase. Now the minimum order quantity is huge, so we're going to have thousands and tens of thousands of boxes of this stuff.
Yeah.
But when you break it down per unit sold, our profit margins can actually be really good, and we can still price it lower than an Element
Perfect.
and have really good profit margins. Where apparel, for example, the way we're doing apparel right now, we have no profit margins whatsoever. We're
Mhm.
buying high quality garments. By the time we get a DTG, which is print on demand, which is like the more expensive way to do it because you're not having to hold stock, and it's like a custom order essentially. We're, I mean, we're doing youth hoodies for Black Friday. We're paying $43 for a youth hoodie. It's like, what are we supposed to price a youth hoodie at then? Like, but Allie's going and buying this awesome stuff from Gap or whatever for Millie, and it's $20. Like, what? How are we supposed to sell a youth
Yeah.
hoodie if we're paying $42 for it?
Yeah.
So
Yep.
it's a bummer, because I would love to do more of an apparel push, but
Mhm.
we're always so hesitant to do it because it's just our profit margins are absolutely horrendous. But with the electrolytes, I think it's going to be a business model that really makes a lot of sense, because it'll tie into what we're doing already. People at camps
Mhm.
will need it. People at classes will need it. People in the app need it. And we can have like a good profit margin. Anyhow,
Love that.
Ethan,
I'm
hit us
stoked
with
for it.
another one.
Sweet. So we got a question from Arvens. Shout
Shout
out. He
out
says, "What are
Arvens.
some things that we can drill to loosen up in the TMA position? After coming back from a small break, I have fallen back into rigidness." AJ, you mentioned to me at this last class, should I stop trying to be perfect on the bike? Is it just more on the time on the bike, etc.? I'm still very new to riding, as I've only been riding for 2 years now, and I feel that I'm on the top of the cusp of reaching another level. No stranger to following a process and putting in time. Any help is appreciated.
Dave, do you have any opinions on that when you first hear that question?
That one, just getting into the TMA position, I think starting at home, like I noticed when I came off injury, getting back on, I would force myself just to do squats, and make sure that I had that proper TMA posture where I've got my elbows up. I've got, you know, again, acting like someone's grabbing my tail. I've got almost like that, you know, when you're in cat cow position, doing the cat position,
Yeah.
and I've got a strong core, strong base. So that's what
And what about for somebody for Arbenz when he gets far enough on that one direction where he feels like, okay, I feel like not that you ever have it perfected,
Mhm.
but I feel like I'm so focused on it at the moment where I am borderline feel stiff and rigid, and I feel like that next cusp of speed is right there. How do I then get that? That's the tricky part. And I think that most people
Yes.
don't run into this problem because they're not disciplined enough to stick to the technique long enough
Mhm.
to end up where Arbenz is. But for those of you that are dedicated in the app and we're kind of getting there and you feel like, man, my technique is killer. Like I think of Dawson 401 or a Baugh 328 or a Kyle 17.
Kyle 17. Oh, oof, yeah, wow. Yep.
There's so many. I can keep going.
Yeah.
Pleasantly Plump, saw him for the first time a week or two ago.
Yep.
Kyle 17, seeing him in person, and I rode his bike and also overshot
Yeah.
a step
Hold
down,
on.
by the way, by
Hold
so
on.
far.
Number one, you got to stop doing that. You got to stop landing the flat because it's we can't have and also, how are you walking away? It's so frustrating, and I want to go on a rant right now because it's so frustrating.
If you had seen
to
this,
see
how
this
high
dude.
I actually
Dude,
went.
in the video, it looks like you were like 100 feet in the air and landed like pretty much on the face of the next jump, and you're like, "Ooh, whoa, that was scary." Like, what? I was in the hospital, dude. I woke up.
Scary.
I woke up with like a nurse in my face going like, "Oh my God, he's breathing. He's back." You know, like, like, what the heck, dude? How did you do that?
Yeah. So, well, I don't know. It's pretty easy. Like you just gotta.
So
I don't know.
frustrating.
Kyle 17's bike is
disrespectful response.
Kyle 17's bike is pretty good. His suspension's pretty good, but it's not a suspension thing. Because when people watch videos like that, or I know the team just posted a video of me launching this huge step down that I kind of made up on my KTM giveaway bike, where I jump like 100 and something feet down a hill and I land, and it looks like I land so delicately. I am light on my feet. And I think anybody can be this way. I'm on the balls of my feet no matter what, even in a huge impact like that. I don't slide my feet forward. And I think I've impacted enough times in delicate light impacts. I've hit from 100 feet, like getting dropped out of the sky type of impacts. I've kind of had everything in between. I know exactly how much to strengthen and brace my ankles, my knees, and my hips to withstand the impact appropriately. Like, because you don't want to land and be so locked out that you don't move because you're going to hyperextend and snap something really bad, right? But you also don't want to be the person that lands and just like blows through the movement immediately and snaps an ankle, or their butt just slaps off the seat because they didn't have any strength in their knees. That's easy to let happen too. Man, is everybody just bugging
Snapping Achilles like crazy.
So I think I just have the experience to know exactly how strong to be within the position for that specific impact that I'm about to encounter. And I'm also good at staying in the position. Like I don't lean back how I shouldn't. I don't do anything weird. In fact, you'll even see, like if you watch that video through a few times, when I take off, my feet kind of float a little bit because you can see I got scared for a split second. Where my feet start to float and they look like they're not in a position that makes any sense. And then I immediately recalibrate and bring my feet right back to where they should belong. And then
because it wasn't like, oh, well, I just carried a bit more speed off the face. Like that should have been every bit of a scrub table, second, third gear, nothing crazy. And you held it third.
Oh yeah.
The whole way. I'm like, are you trying to table the table? Right? What are you doing?
This is the thing, and maybe you guys can relate to this. I actually saw a video of Bobby Piazza just recently doing the same thing.
Oh, do the table. Yeah, I saw that.
He launches into the face of another one.
Blew out his wheel. Yeah.
Blew out his wheel. And as soon as I saw it, I go, oh, he forgot where he was. You could tell. Like he wasn't trying to jump that. He just thought it was the next one. Because the next one looked like it was a table to single that you were supposed to launch. He was on the wrong one. Yep. Cooper Webb did it one time in Supercross where you tried to triple into a section that was supposed to be a 2-3 instead of a 3-2.
And he had to end up skimming the faces.
And he got confused. He handled that impact really well.
Yep.
Yeah, so there's two tabletops on the track that were both going the same direction. The takeoffs were built the same exact way. They were
Mm.
both out of left-hand turns, and it was only like my third or fourth lap on the track. So
Gotcha.
I wasn't riding over my
I
head.
think it was only your second
Oh,
lap,
was it?
honestly. It was very early on in that first
Yeah,
moto.
so I didn't really clearly, I didn't know where I really was yet. And I wasn't riding over my head. I just had a brain fart and got confused. And there was one of the jumps that was 80 or 90 feet long, and the other one was literally like the easiest jump of all time to overshoot. It was like 25 feet long. You had to hit it going super slow. And I was just lucky that the next jump face wasn't closer than what it was, because I still almost landed on the next jump face. But
Yeah.
I got a bit lucky there. Anyhow, what the heck were we talking about? How did I get to that? Oh,
Yeah.
so Kyle 17 was at that class, stupidly good. He might have the best technique of anybody in the Moto Academy. Pleasantly plump, looked amazing. There's a bunch of people, at least a dozen of them in the Moto Academy, that are so locked into proper Moto Academy position that I would now say, okay, for you guys, you're ready. Let's start getting a little loose, carefully, but getting a little loose for a little bit, seeing what that feels like, going for little bursts of speed here or there, seeing what that feels like. And you'll be able to, this is your key moment where you can add a little speed, and you should be able to do it safely. Now you just have to know when to check yourself and then to go back into being strict about technique again. So I kind of talk about it and describe it as the pendulum swinging. Like you're going to go technique, really strict, really strict. When you think you're a little bit too static and a little bit too stiff, then we can swing it back the other way for a short period of time. But you need to do that very carefully, because that is when people, obviously, that's when people hurt themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even Arvens, if you can pick some safe jumps, depending on where you think you feel the most stiff, experiment more. So if you feel like, I want to have a little bit more fluidity on jumps and look a little bit more loose on jumps, pick a really safe jump that you can practice the snap of a scrub movement. Practice really scrubbing a little harder, or practice when you're in the air, move around a little bit more, move your feet more, just try some stuff, even if you think it looks silly. Just move and try it in corners. If you feel like you look a little stiff in corners, spend a couple days or a few weeks putting your foot out in every single corner with your toe in tight to the front number plate, or sorry, to the front fender, and see what that feels like. You know what I mean? That's what I would do, or that's what I do. I experiment and try different stuff constantly.
Does it make sense when you're trying to be more loose and that pendulum swings the other way? Does it still make sense to ride at the 30-40% mark? Or do you recommend, if you are trying to go loose, it's best to incorporate those little bursts of speeds, like you mentioned?
Yeah, I would say, generally speaking, ride still at the 30-40% range with bursts of 80 or 90, close to what feels like 100 bursts. I'm talking like a straightaway, a corner, a section. I wouldn't even do laps yet at that higher range, because then it just becomes sloppy, right? You want it to feel a little loose. You don't want it to be sloppy. Yeah, and that takes a lot of what's the word? Discipline.
It does.
That does take a lot of discipline, because some people are just they just swing one way or the other, right? It's like you can convince them to go 30% for a lap, but then as soon as you say, "All right, go ahead," then it's just whoop 100%, and it just the whole time.
It's especially like when you and I talked, and I think we even had an episode about it where I was like, "Dude, I felt like crap riding last night," blah blah blah, and you're like, "Yeah, dude, your ego's gonna take a hit because you're used to being thinking that you are whatever speed, right? And like sucking the ego up a little bit and checking yourself and being a little more humble and going slower and riding maybe not up to where you think you should be. That's difficult for a lot of us. It's difficult for me for sure. So I think giving myself the grace to go slower, that's helped out. And even this advice that you just gave, I think that's it's almost like, okay, I've got the permission I need now to maybe not be as rigid, but also to allow myself to be a little bit more methodical, slow down, and get it right. You know what I mean?
And play. Don't be afraid to play. Yeah. Play on the bike. I think, shoot, if anybody ever watched me at Rocky Hill back in the day, if anybody ever watched me when I was at Club MX,
frustrating.
I mean, I would free ride half the time, right?
One-handers. I remember we couldn't have been more than like 12 or 13. but on the kids track at Rocky Hill, you would ride it backwards and do a table to table.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And you made it look so easy. And I remember I sized it up and I was like, nah. It's like, you know what? I'm all set.
I remember
Yeah,
that.
you would
was
do
pretty
that.
big.
Then you do it like one-handed and you just like pop the front end up, loft it, be super light. And I'm like, man, he looks like he's having so much fun. Meanwhile, Tony's back there like, I told you, you fell in the corner. You gotta go wide open. It's like, oh, okay, here we go.
Yeah, so it was a lot of play. It was a lot of
Yeah.
play. I would goon ride. I would practice scrubs and whips and
Yeah,
freestyle
yeah.
tricks. And hi, Millie, do you want to come and do a podcast? Okay, great. Is she in her witch costume? Millie, where's your hat? You want to get your hat so you can... Oh, here, come here. Come here. Oh, you want to play the piano? Come here. Can I see your sticker? Let me see. Come here and say hi to everybody.
I can't see her.
What's everything aimed at? I don't know which... Oh, is she below? Are you looking through my phone?
I think
Where
you're
am I
kind
on
of.
here?
I think you're frozen for me.
Oh, I am. Yeah, I am frozen. Millie, okay, so the camera can see us. Do you want to say hi to everybody?
Hello, Mildred.
She has a witch costume on. So
Oh,
she's a witch for
Maeve,
Halloween. Today's
Maeve was
Halloween Day, by the way. We're
Yeah.
recording.
Maeve was Hermione Granger a couple days ago, and then for another Harvest Festival, she was a little puppy.
That's hilarious. What is she
Yeah.
tonight? Are you guys going
I
to trick or
think
treating?
I think we're gonna do a puppy again because like she didn't understand the concept of like being a Harry Potter character with like the wand and like the little skirt and like the proper little witch attire. So I think we're gonna put her in the puppy attire again.
Have you guys watched Halloween Town yet?
AJ, we watch out of 365 days a year, right? In my house, we watch it probably 320.
No way. Halloween Town?
I'm not kidding you, dude. I can recite
Oh, me too.
every line from all three of them because the fourth one sucks. But
'Cause it's
Mary
different. Marnie's not in the fourth one, right?
exactly,
Oops, sorry.
yeah. And Mary literally, she'll have that and Hocus Pocus on every night all year long, dude.
Wow, same with us. I didn't know that about you. That's hilarious. Yeah, since October 1st,
insane.
we've watched Halloween Town, well, at least once a day. But we've
Yeah.
been watching it. I mean, pretty much. I could recite the whole movie at this point.
Dude, it's every day. We even get in arguments on drives like, how are you going to tell me that Sophie is not the best witch? Clearly, she can do unprompted meditation. It's like literally we have
Millie, can you say
arguments
Halloween?
about like all this stuff, dude. It's crazy.
Can you say Halloween Town?
Halloween Town.
She thought Halloween was called Halloween Town for the longest time.
Oh,
I think
dude,
still
that's
does.
cute.
Can you say, are you excited for Halloween Town tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to go
Aw.
to Halloween Town tonight. And we're going to see lots of pumpkins.
Ooh.
And we're going to see lots of spooky ghosts.
Oh.
And we're going to knock on people's doors and get lots of candy.
Ooh.
Even though your mom won't let us eat any of the candy, but we'll still
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah, we can't.
It's all right. Just bring it to Skyline next week. I'll take it.
Okay. Yeah, we'll get all the candy. We'll bring it all to Ethan.
I'll ship mine to you because I can't eat it either, Ethan. So
Yeah.
I'll ship all mine to you, buddy.
All right, I'll stare at it.
She's going to go
Yeah,
nuts.
yeah. I'll just hold it for you guys.
All right,
you
yeah,
go.
we'll give it all to Ethan. What else are you excited about Halloween Town? You want to tell?
Halloween.
Her little
Wow.
voice.
Oh, I actually agree with you. Can I ask you a question? Can you tell me about your morning?
I want to do.
What'd you do this morning? Did you hang out with Hannah?
Yeah, I know how
Oh.
to rock.
Did you go to music class?
Yeah,
What'd you do at music class?
I'm on that Hawaii.
Was it fun? Do you want to sing a song?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Ah. Her favorite song right now,
Uh-huh.
by far, not even close, is
Mhm.
Die With a Smile with Bruno Mars and Lady Gaga.
Really?
Oh, yeah. And she knows the whole first verse. I mean, like stringing together the whole. I wish she would sing it on the thing. It's hilarious. Yesterday, she started doing it,
Mm,
and she knew more of the first part of the song than I did.
gotcha. Maeve is at the stage where like she's starting to like recognize certain like nursery songs, and she'll do like the itsy bitsy spider with them and like the peekaboos with like the different, dude, it's super adorable.
Oh,
Or like
it's-
head, shoulders, knees and toes. We see her because we have a camera
Yeah.
for the car. In the back, she's doing head, shoulders, knees and toes with like her little hands. She likes that. And then she likes super inappropriate, obscure dance hall Caribbean music. So, dude, like she loves Dexta Daps. She likes Vibes Cartel. She did anything with a Caribbean flair where they're talking about things that you should not be talking about. She is like moving and grooving, and I'm like, oh geez, dude, Tony would be so proud.
I just woke up from.
I will say, if Millie does not have a future in Moto, she might just be the next best cameraman. She is obsessed with the Insta360.
Really?
We filmed a video with her the other
Uh-huh.
day, and like, if she wasn't on the bike riding, she was holding the camera and running around with it.
Oh,
yeah,
dude,
she's-
She even knows how
that's
to.
cool.
She even knows how to press record, which is quite cool. So she's way ahead of where I
can you
was
say
when I was her
camera?
age.
Yeah.
I think she's gonna be the next big
Say hello.
cameraman.
There
Say
we
hi,
go.
camera,
Camera woman.
Camera.
and say bye, bye, camera.
Bye, camera.
Okay, go up and see Mama. Okay. All right, Ethan, hit us with another one, and then we'll go for like 5 more minutes if that's okay. Don't touch the camera.
That's perfect. This last question actually should be a good segue. So, speaking of Kyle 17 before, this is a question from Kyle 17.
Shout out.
2-part question. First part: what are the top three things to do when starting a business, specifically like detailing cars?
What was the question?
Ooh.
What are the top 3 things to do when starting a business, specifically like detailing cars?
Oh,
I like
fun.
this
Okay.
question. I
Good
like this
question.
one. Yeah.
Okay, Dave, do you wanna start? Anything that comes to the top of your head right off the bat?
I'll start with one that's super important. I think there's one that's good in general is, and I think he narrowed it down, is like, thinking about what can I do to be of service? What do people need? How can I satiate that need and provide a service? Where he sees the car detailing as one of them. Perfect. That's awesome. Love that. The next part is building relationships with your clientele and going above and beyond for them, because they will always remember that. They'll be much more likely to tell people about it if you provide that next level where you have to treat it very professionally, and like, yes, your customers are your customers, but making them feel like they're a part of the thing that you offer, like they are a part of it. That matters, because that relationship building, that differentiator between you and the next guy who's detailing cars. Like, oh, dude, Kyle 17, dude, I can talk to that guy. I can talk about my day. He's super helpful when it comes to like, hey, here's how I would take care of your car. Here's some free tips on how I would, make sure that it's not getting messy in 2 days or whatever, and how it can last longer. Like that type of rapport with your clientele base matters, and it takes you so far. So I think those 2 things are super helpful. There's a lot more, and AJ and I can go into hours of detail with this stuff, but those are 2 ones that stick out for me right now.
For some reason, I don't know why the car detailing business idea gets me all excited here, but it just seems
Same.
like such an easy one to be able to, and fun one, because when I was a just anal retentive neurotic mess back in my heyday, and I had nice cars that I would bring them to my Uncle Scott's shop, and I would detail my car every single day. I wouldn't even let, like my girlfriend at the time, or when I met Allie, I wouldn't even let her put a water bottle in the cup holder, because I didn't want the condensation droplets like creating any type of anything. And now Ethan's seen my cars. If you were to go in my car now, you can't roll the windows down when you drive, because the dog hair will get in your eyes so bad. But I had many years where like I had every detailing piece of equipment that you could have. So this question gets me excited. Okay. So this is where you could start. Create your offer. Think about how you can package together an initial offering. I think very easily for car detailing, you could have like a silver, bronze, and gold or platinum package where you can have a few packages, but focus on like your main core offer. Toss in one or a couple key things into that you market as free. So if that's like a wheel detail or
engine bay cleaning or something.
Yep.
Yep.
Something that's like that next level above and beyond that the person's
Yes.
like, ooh, that sounds really nice. And toss that in as free into the offer. And then start with your warm leads, which your warm leads would be family, friends, Facebook friends, Instagram followers, and present your offer, even one-on-one in a DM, an email, a phone call to those people.
Yep.
What will happen is if you're good at what you do and the offer's good enough and price it really, really fairly. Again, we said this earlier in the podcast. You want to price it to where the person feels almost stupid saying no to what your offer is. Then what's going to happen is you're immediately going to get referral frenzies from all of these people that were your warm leads, that were your family and friends and Facebook friends. Then the next problem, almost right away, if you do that well, I would guarantee within the first few months, if you wanted, you're going to have a problem of, okay, I already have too much work than what I can handle. So then at that point, make sure you come ask me if you need help. You need to find people you can hire to do that. It should be pretty easy to hire somebody that you can trust, that can be detailing the cars while you are going out and getting the leads, packaging these offers, helping run the Facebook ads, and kind of doing the higher level business stuff while somebody else is actually doing the detailing. I could start $1 million detail business or build $1 million detail business very quickly, I would bet, with the knowledge that I have. So Kyle 17, ask those questions. If you get to any roadblocks or bottlenecks and you need help, that can be very, very profitable. And I know you're probably thinking, well, doesn't everybody have something like that? Sure, that might be a low-hanging fruit of a business that a lot of people would want to start, but let's face it.
Not many people are going to jump in.
No, well, they might jump in for a day or a week.
That's what I mean. No one's gonna go all in on it. Yeah, it's tough. Yeah, it's insane. And I'll even give you
that next step.
And I'll give you one better, because I personally get caught up, and I'll have it on in the background while I'm doing some bike work if I'm not sick. Is I'll have on like car detailing before and after YouTubes, and for Kyle, I'm like, dude, if you get just 2 minutes worth of content where it's just like a couple pans of the car before, a few pans of you doing your thing, set up the camera, show you just doing a few different scrubs, a few different this, and then a couple pans of the after, it'll make your life so much easier when it comes to marketing, because you'll find out, as AJ knows, you hit AJ's team, and this is probably not even conservative, probably spends 60 to 70% of their collective time and effort marketing compared to actually doing the services that they provide. So it's easy. It's probably more than that. So that's going to make your life easier when you're having to make your ads, make your Instagram reels, your YouTube shorts, all that other stuff. Like, don't forget to do that portion, because a lot of us do forget, and we're like, oh crap, how do I showcase this thing now? All I can do is talk about it. Make sure you do that. And if you realize that it's fun, like I enjoy editing, not to the level of Ethan, obviously, but I enjoy that stuff. Dude, you can start up your old YouTube channel, and then that helps. That's another funnel for you to help grow the business with, right? So I think all that stuff makes a big difference. And Ethan can speak more to that, but I think it makes a huge difference.
Well, you took the words right out of my mouth. That was going to be my biggest piece of advice, is doing POV content. So not just like making an edit of it, but I see this online all the time. People just will, put on like a Insta360 Go Ultra, so a small camera that's kind of hidden, and just record the whole thing, right? So process beginning to end, and that stuff kills it. People, for whatever reason, just find that kind of stuff satisfying, seeing the before and after process, right? Or another thing too, and this kind of ties into something we say a lot: be unembarrassable, right? You don't have to go out and actually execute on this, but go knock on people's doors and just say, hey, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm offering, and record those interactions POV style. People love that. You know what I mean? It might not lead to something, but it could be a good piece of content, and people eat that up. You know what I mean? And I see that stuff online all the time, specifically with car detailing, right? So really heavily lean into the content, because not only will it help grow the business, but it'll make getting leads and jobs a lot easier. And I can speak to that from my own personal experience doing the moto edits at the track. All I had to do was post a banger from the week before saying, hey, this is where I'm going this week, and I'd be booked out before I even stepped on the track, right? So I would say really heavily lean into the content. As you start to build more and more of a catalog, your Facebook ads get easier too, because then you already have the content. It's not a matter of making something, you already have it made, you see what performs well, and you run that. So really, really heavily lean into the content. And if I had to suggest something, the Go Ultra would be the camera, because it's so small and it's too easy to not use. So
You could make a killing with a business like that, Kyle, quickly.
Yeah.
Mobile detailing service. Like for me and Allie, we have our, you know, our two main cars. We have the Polaris now too, which I need to get cleaned already. And we have, there's a lot of, you see a lot of like the new kind of updated car wash places popping up, right? Where you have like a membership or a subscription to that, and those have become quite popular. They'll have like the vacuum and the maybe a microfiber setup outside and some stuff for when you get
Mat
out of the car
cleaning.
wash. Yeah,
Yep.
which is cool. But a lot of people are still very much wanting that. They don't, first of all, might not want to go drive and do that, which I don't. And they want the next level up of a proper detail, and they want
Yes.
somebody to go to them. And if you race dirt bikes, I mean, you could easily build out a sweet Sprinter van
Yeah,
that
dude.
is your mobile detailing van that can also be
Yep.
your moto van, and
Exactly.
then now it's a tax write-off. So yeah, I could talk for hours on this, but yeah, Kyle 17, let us know if you have any questions at all, because you're onto something. And owning a business, I say this with a bias because I own one, but I think it is an amazing, amazing way to live your life, because you can really feel like you're in control and design every aspect of your life. You can create
Yes.
freedom of time for you and your family in the future. Yeah. Yep.
1000%.
Cool. Great question.
If you're in Texas,
That's exciting.
come do my car, please, because I need it desperately.
Well, I was going to say, if you want a client up here too, all three of our vehicles now need a detail. So
Yep.
Allie and I were just talking about it yesterday. So
Mm.
hour 20 in, we've done it. Episode 160, what? 161. Thanks
Look
for
at
listening.
us.
Thanks for watching. Hopefully my angle's a little bit different. Let me know what you guys thought of it. We're always making small tweaks over here. I know we're going to be working on a live stream deck and kind of a streaming setup, which will be separate from this, which will be cool.
Sweet.
But yeah,
I
a
like
lot of
that.
exciting stuff happening at the Moto Academy. Dave, thank you.
Thank you. Missed you guys. This is fun.
That was fun.
Want to
It
get
was
back
like
in
we
the
didn't
schedule.
skip a beat.
Yeah. We also
Toodles.
all talk like 8 times a day, so that helps.
Yeah, that was good though. That felt like a good one to me. Do you have
Yeah.
short shorts on like usual or what?